That's a cool looking 6-pointer, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'd have shot him today if I seen him. I ain't gonna lie.
Refrigerator, microwave. No time me and Daddy in the woods on a Saturday.
All this stuff, I got the screws and stuff. What you guys?
Tech.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's close to the wall. I'm gonna take this in 5 turns. There's a wall, don't hit your head on it.
Yeah.
So don't really know what we're gonna discuss here, but I will start out by, when I was a young wee little lad, I had a dream. I
think we all had dreams, man.
We all had dreams.
Now we're just making it, you know, as much a reality as we can. I mean, I know about you guys, but like, this is more than just hunting to me. It's a lifestyle.
It's a way of life.
You know,
it's it right there.
You know, we go out in the woods and we have a great time with each other by ourselves, and then we come talk to each other after it. You know, we have some horrible hunts sometimes. I mean, but that's how it goes.
The
It's
majority
not always like about killing deer.
No, it's like Tony said all the time. It's hunting. It's not killing, and
Right.
it's discouraging because right now we're right smack dab and actually the end of rifle season,
Mm-hmm.
and we see all these people out killing these big bucks, and we just started this hunting group, and they're like, "Where's y'all's deer at?" And I've got a decent little buck killed. And,
Mm-hmm.
out of the 3 of us, you know, we've all seen deer. It's just the hunters know that you guys know how it is. You don't always have a shot at deer. You may not even see deer half the time. You know, we're hunting on public land. We're hunting on private land. It's all free roam, not baited stuff. It's just, it's out there in the woods in the wilderness, and they run free and they know the land better than we do.
Scott's killed a deer that he had on camera here and 2 miles away.
Right.
I mean,
And
the
that was
same
from last
exact
year.
deer.
Because I went and checked that camera early season, expecting him and all the other bucks to be on there. I honestly, I had a little forked horn. That's all I had. And I'm like, where did he go? And then I went to a place, the exact spot I shot last year's buck when Matt was with me, and he showed up there in the middle of the field. I'm like, holy cow.
Right.
And, you know, and he was still bouncing back and forth different areas. And luckily, I just was in the right spot at the right time, as any hunter always is whenever a deer comes in. You don't know what they're going to do.
I'm thinking when we looked it up last, I'm wanting to say that they said an average buck in rut can go up to like 7 miles.
Right. I heard you say the same thing.
And I mean, you gotta think, there's not a person here that has a 7-mile stretch of land he gets to hunt.
And a lot of people, they say, oh, 7 miles, you know. You don't realize straight across through 7 miles how much really 7 miles really is.
Oh, yeah.
Long way
I
to
mean,
go
it
far.
is to get through it by highway or gravel road or whatever you got.
I mean, I think the biggest thing I'm taking out of this season is dedication. I have had a dry spell, and I've got big bucks on camera. I mean, big bucks on camera. Passing up little deer. I mean,
And it's completely public land too.
Yeah,
So.
we're passing up 120-inch deer because we know that there's something in there that's worth saving our time for, and it's wearing on me though.
I mean, and it's not that it's a lack of dedication for any of us. I mean, we all have the heart and the pride to be out there every day, but sometimes we can't because we're just like you guys. We work. We have a full-time job.
I'm on welfare, but
right now,
Yeah.
I'm working 6-7 days a week. I'm having a hard time even getting out there to hunt. I'm using almost every little bit of vacation I can, and I'm getting ready to be where I'm going to start taking points just because I'm so dedicated to be out there to kill a deer. And let me stop right there saying to kill a deer like we just said a while ago. It's not always about killing a deer. So when I'm out there,
we had fun tonight.
I'm enjoying my time whether I'm not seeing a deer or not. Yes, it makes it harder to sit out there if you don't see a deer because you're wanting to move different spots, trying to find a deer, trying to figure out why they're not coming in. Is it food supply? Is it people bumping them, etc. So I'm facing a lot of trouble trying to get off work and hunting, and when I do, I'm in the wrong spot. Most of our property is getting logged, so the deer are getting pushed to a different area that I'm not used to hunting. My whole life, I grew up hunting private property, so these guys are kind of giving me hints on hunting public. I know nothing about public. 100%, I've been hunted on our small little 200-acre farm, and that's all I've ever had. All I've ever hunted, and I've never went out of my comfort zone. This year, I'm actually going out of my comfort zone, and let me tell you, public hunting is tough. You gotta figure out where you can go without getting someone walking up on you. Once you finally find a deer, probably 3 or 4 other guys already know that deer's in there and they're trying to hunt them.
That drop time buck, literally, when I had double drop time buck on camera, that morning, first opening morning 2 years ago of rifle season, we got done hunting that morning. We go back to the truck. We're sitting there eating breakfast, and a guy drives back by. He says, "You see him yet?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, he's got one on each side. I'll tell you that." And here he was, and he was a farmer that owned property next to it, but he was parking his truck over by the road so no one would walk in that access.
Right.
Well, I firmly believe in spotlighting.
Oh my God.
I'll do that opening day of rifle season. I'll sit in my field on the farm, and somebody drives by at 6 o'clock in the morning
Yeah,
and shoots out the truck.
I'm sorry.
Knock it off.
I won't do it again.
Knock it off. Hey, I'm human. I'm not going to say I've never been in the wrong.
No.
But as you grow and mature, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
hoping to do and hoping to portray, just legitimate hunting, but having a good time. Be legal, please. It's not hard. I could kill somebody deer this year and just not tag them. I got a buck outside of the truck that ain't real big. I tagged him. I'm tagged out for the rest of the season for Missouri. Besides doe, I can kill some does, but I had big bucks on camera, but I wanted to shoot this deer. I was excited. I pulled the trigger. I tagged him in broad daylight. It's just do the right thing.
Right.
Please do the right thing. It makes our lives a little easier. We're out chasing these deer, putting in the time and the effort and all the money. It takes a lot of money and time. It's one thing not everybody has, and we're not abundant of it. We're just trying to do the best we can with what we have.
Earlier we was talking about the amount of time we put in the woods and not seeing nothing past deer up.
Oh, it's amazing.
One thing I'm bad about, early season, I'm super stoked to get in the woods. I got deer on camera. It doesn't matter. I'm ready to get in the woods, get my tree stand.
Yeah.
And then you get that first frost. It pumps you back up again. Oh, the rut's coming.
Yep.
And then you have year like I've had and Matt, and I have a big problem, and it's sitting right here. When I'm in a state of
I can relate to that.
I'm aggravated because I'm not seeing the deer that I want to see,
Yeah.
and then especially now it's like I need to have my eyes out here looking because I can shoot 200 yards.
Well, it's so open. They're going to spot
Yeah.
you probably before you're going to spot them.
So,
their noses are better this time of year.
One thing I think I guarantee you almost every hunter is guilty of it, is when you're sitting there, you're not seeing nothing, you're hearing squirrels, you get on that phone, you start texting, you play a game,
I found the night when I saw that doe come over, man.
and you get on your phone and you're like, but I guarantee you, early season when you're after these deer that know are there and there's no pressure on them, touch that phone.
No, I wasn't on my phone.
You know what I'm saying? You never touch it. But
I mean,
late in the
you're
season,
also not there
You're
as
starting to
long.
get. You're starting to get. Well, I didn't see that this morning.
And we're there longer because right now you don't know when they're going to move. You know,
Exactly.
Right.
how many times are we out there and you guys go check cameras later on the year? And you're like, man, that buck was there between 11 and 1.
Yep.
Where was I at?
Right.
I was
And it
eating
does,
lunch, taking
like,
a nap.
It does help, taking
That
kill
early,
time.
Right.
But
That
because you
early-
are in the woods so much, but
The early season, you're so hot. You're not out there, 2 or 3 hours usually.
yep.
Right.
Because it's just so hot.
I feel like a summer routine buck is easier
it
to
is
hunt than a
Yeah.
buck in the rut.
Oh God, you can't pattern a buck in the rut.
No, I mean, how many times you see bucks come in and you had no idea they're on your property?
Right.
Yeah. A buck in like early
7-mile
season,
range, like we were talking about.
I can almost guarantee you where he's going to come out, about where he's going to feed through at, and where he's going to exit.
Yeah.
And in the spot
Especially
I'm
on their
hunting.
wind patterns.
Yeah, and you can pattern a deer early season,
Right.
and then now if you can learn how to hunt the wind, if you're on the downwind side of a bidding area, a lot of times them bucks will skirt the downwind side of a bidding area to find a hot doe. And so if you can learn how to hunt the wind and get a stand that you can do that with, you can sometimes put that in your advantage.
Right.
And even when you're hunting the rut, because you don't know exactly where they're going to come out at, but if you get on the downwind side of a bidding area, or something that you would think is a bidding area, it's going to give your chance that much better.
Right.
Just for y'all's reference, there is a family of ours upstairs because we're all family men. So
Yeah.
some of the background music you're going to hear is little kids singing.
Yeah, our kids.
The
So,
Rack
I
Attack
apologize.
basement is not completely finished.
Right. As y'all saw in some of the video, I've got Tony over here hardwiring, literally piggyback some downed electric
Yeah.
in a box. We're completely safe with that. Just so we can get lights.
It's totally
Yeah, it's
code. Totally
So,
code.
listen, we're all blue collar, just family men
Right,
trying to do
yeah.
something that we love and hoping someday to, shake David Blanton's hand and be like, "What's up, man? How you
Oh,
doing?"
man.
So at this time, I think it'd be a good time to thank our sponsors.
Crickets.
Cricket Wireless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
My back.
But serious, a whole lot. We are serious about what we do, though. We do love it.
Very much so.
And
Right.
we take great pride in. We've already had each individual people talk about somebody that we know or somebody that we don't know that's wanting to get into bow hunting, or they've seen our videos or something.
Yep.
We're
We actually this year, me and Scott had a kid that
Yep,
never
just-
been hunting before.
No.
Wanted to come. He contacted me and wanted to know if I would be interested in letting him come to shoot with us and maybe hunt. And I told him, I said, yeah, you can come hang out if I think that you're in the state of where I think you could. Then yeah, we'll talk about it. So I talked to Scott about it, and he's like, yeah, bring him over, see what we'll see what he's got. First time he'd ever shot that gun, did pretty good at 100 yards.
100 yards. Never
how old
shot.
was he?
He's in his 20s.
Early 20s.
22.
Never had the opportunity to hunt.
Really?
Yeah,
And then-
he never had anyone to take him hunting.
And what did he do the following day?
He killed his first deer.
Killed his first.
Really?
Yep.
And he was in tears. Like,
Yep.
he's like, I've never felt like that before. He said, I'm gonna wait for a big buck. That's what he said.
And I was checking my cameras, and I had some good ones on there. Because again, these deer weren't here during early season. They came in during
Right.
prep.
You
And
guys
he's
took
like,
it to the farm?
man, yeah. And he's sitting there looking at all the cameras. He goes, man, how do you guys get on these big bucks? I'm like, they're on my camera. They're not in my hands. And I'm like, are you gonna wait to see if you got a big one? He goes,
Oh, yeah,
He said,
I'm
I'm gonna be picky.
Yeah.
I said,
That's what he said.
I said, you see the deer we killed? I said, well, if you have a little buck or something come in front of you and you get shaky, you get pulling that trigger.
You get figured.
My wife was sitting with him in
So-
the ground blind, and she said that they saw it, and she goes, "It's a little buck. Do you want to shoot it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I definitely want to shoot it. I definitely want to shoot it. What do I need to do?" And my wife's like,
Shoot it.
Shoot it. And so in that ground blind I've got, it's got like a big open space in the front. It's got these two back windows.
Right.
Well, this deer came off to his left, and they said it was like at 20 yards. He shot it with my 308. I mean, golly womp that sucker.
And Michael, if you're watching this, we're not making fun of you, bud. I promise you, we're just as excited as you are if you get.
Oh my God,
And
yes.
we're just telling it
Super
from
proud.
our perspectives I've talked to you quite a bit throughout the week, and he might not be watching this, but he probably is.
Oh, I definitely.
I think
he shares all our videos.
I know. Yeah, he was in it today, and he talked to me. I think actually sent messages this morning. But no, dude, super proud of you. I hope that gives you the drive that you're after. That's all we're about.
It's what it takes.
Yeah, it takes a drive.
You know, if I ever lose the feeling of that excitement, that rush, that little deer coming in,
Gone.
I'm done. I'm not interested in hunting anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
and also with that, you know, we are about letting some of the younger deer pass.
oh yeah,
For the most part, especially certain parts of the year.
for different reasons.
For different reasons. Doesn't mean to go out there and try to let these deer walk if you don't have the kind of deer population
Right.
that some do. We don't have the best deer population at
Oh, no,
times.
I'm definitely never going to tell someone not to shoot a deer.
Right.
I won't, because Ted Nugent said it best. Who am I to tell some little boy, no way, you can't shoot that little spike or whatever?
This isn't.
But I guarantee you, they're going to get just as much excitement as from that as we did on killing any of these deer.
Right. And this isn't where you watch our shows and you see 170-inch deer. It's not that. I mean, we honestly, I'm not gonna say we don't have that caliber of buck around here, but that right there is about as big as you're gonna get around here. And if you find anything bigger than that,
Typically,
it's a bonus.
If you're in a place where you can manage deer, I do recommend trying to let them go. But I'm not gonna knock you for doing it.
Let's talk about something like that. I will waste my buck tag to shoot a buck that looks like this, that has a good side and a funky side, because I do not want them genetics in my area one bit.
And that's
A lot
another
of
reason why
guys
you
may
should
disagree with me because, oh, you give him the next year, he might be a stud. Yeah, I ain't never seen him.
But I shot this year is over 200 pounds, and he's a 3+. He had 110 inches on him. You know, nice deer, but
There's some deer out there that they're not going to get big.
Right.
I mean, it's just
And a lot of times, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have the same scenario as us three that are sitting here. We were literally just talking about this, but
we all have different rack sizes. So enjoy y'all's rifle season.
2021.
Yep. And don't forget, raindrops, flip-flops, and lollipops, squirrels don't grow on brick walls. Don't forget to lick your boots. Welcome to Rack Attack.
See you guys.